YouTubers are regular people, and therefore they are not immune from doing things that just should land them in prison. Sometimes it's something they did for views, but other times the crime is much more sinister. However, for whatever bizarre reason, a lot of these famous YouTubers have been able to avoid spending major time in prison for what they did. That's why today we'll be counting down the top 10 YouTubers who should be in prison. But first, make sure you smash that like button to show some love to the channel, and with that out of the way, let's begin. Coming in number 10, Jake Paul. Whether or not you've ever enjoyed Jake Paul's content, he certainly has built an impressive fan base over the years simply by acting like a moron. He has garnered over 20 million subscribers on YouTube, most of which truly enjoy the content that he has posted over the years. Jake already had some people beginning to hate him when he tried to sell a gambling service called Mystery Box to his younger fans, but the straw that broke the camel's back came when he decided to do some filming in Arizona. During the riots that took place in multiple areas around the city, Jake found himself on camera being handed a bottle of vodka that was stolen from a P.F. Chang's. Following that, he was arrested for unlawful assembly and trespassing after multiple eyewitness accounts notified the police. In addition to this, he has also been investigated by the FBI, and although that is a pretty serious ordeal, it doesn't seem like the threat of law enforcement has even affected the way that he behaves. Coming in number 9, Reset. Although the original incident took place in 2017, a court ruled that Reset's YouTube channel and all other social media accounts must be shut down for 5 years. This Spanish YouTuber though thought it would be hilarious to film himself handing a homeless man an Oreo with the filling replaced with toothpaste. This resulted in a $22,300 fine, and a Barcelona court found him guilty of violating the moral integrity of his prank victim. Along with that fine was a sentence of 15 months in prison, although this may just be a tactic to make his socials going down seem like the better punishment. When asked later on why he did this stunt, Reset said that he did it because he thought the homeless man needed his teeth cleaned. Some viewed the sentence as harsh, but the judge explained during his hearing that this was not an isolated act. He was known for pulling off obscene pranks and just finally got caught. But probably should have spent more time behind bars. Coming in number 8, Michael David Turley. Where to even begin with this guy? Turley, who at the time was 40 years old, wanted to test the response time of the Phoenix Police Department. After a gunman had attacked that movie theater in Colorado, Turley felt it was his duty to make sure his local police were up to par. To do so, he somehow convinced his 16-year-old nephew to wrap himself in a sheet, then wrap his face with a scarf and trot through an intersection holding a fake grenade launcher. Turns out the police were very fast to respond. His nephew was sentenced to 2 weeks in jail, and Turley though would also face at the very least probation, but a maximum sentence of more than 5 years in jail. He's lucky no one was injured in this bizarre act, all caught for his YouTube page. This dude has just got to be such a manipulative person in real life, and definitely should still be in prison for this. Coming in number 7, Sam Pepper. Back in 2015, Sam felt the full wrath of the internet. 100,000 people signed a petition to have him banned from the platform because he staged a murder prank. Does common sense even exist anymore? I mean, at the beginning of the video he said, and I quote, "Let's see how he reacts to his best friend of 5 years being killed in front of him." My guess is, not well. In the video, he tricks one half of the Vine duo Sam and Colby that their best friend just died, which is really messed up. He also had another prank video where he groped women in public using a fake hand, then defended himself by saying that it was a social experiment. Sure, well if that's the case, let's try a social experiment to see if people feel, I don't know, safer with you locked behind bars. Coming in number 6, Toy Freaks. I really just can't even believe this guy. His name is Gregory Chisholm, and he's a single dad raising 2 daughters on his own. I'm sure he was asking himself at one point, well I get 1 hour with them every Sunday, thanks to a court order, how should I spend it with them? I know, I'll make them help me with my YouTube page. And so he did. He constantly pranked his kids, almost harming them in the process. He made them act like babies and do things that babies would do. I mean, imagine being 10 years old and your dad's like, "Hey hun, dad's gonna need you to put this pacifier in your mouth. Go on, step into that diaper. I'm gonna get my iPhone and we're gonna let millions of people watch you poop yourself. Alright, everybody in. Toy Freaks break." Like, what? YouTube even eventually kicked him off of the platform because they believe that the videos may have caused severe psychological damage to his kids. I mean, I feel like my brain was just melting learning about this story. Coming in number 5, Family 05. Formerly known as Daddy 05, this family of YouTubers with the father Mike Martin leading the charge also used to prank their kids. Along with his wife Heather, they would absolutely terrorize their children under the veil that it was all just a funny prank. We're talking mental, physical, and emotional abuse. The YouTube couple from Maryland would often break their kids' toys and even yell at them until they cried. All for what? YouTube ad money? You're willing to destroy your children's future for views. After massive online backlash, the pair lost their accounts. They were charged with 2 counts of misdemeanor child neglect, and they lost custody of their 2 kids as well.
That in some cases appear to show a child being harassed by a family member to the point of emotional explosion.
Coming number 4, Vitality. Vitality, this guy has always been a bit of a wild one, and he's finally got what was coming to him. This Russian-American YouTuber star is well known for his prank videos and wild public stunts. He'd garnered over 10 million subscribers who tune in for his sometimes raunchy, sometimes dangerous content. Just a few years ago, he was arrested in Egypt for ignoring laws and scaling one of the pyramids. Then more recently, he was arrested in Miami after he allegedly attacked an unsuspecting woman who was just out for a jog. According to the police report, Vitality hopped out of his car and jumped in front of the woman with his arms open. He then tackled her to the ground, straddled her, and punched the woman with closed fists in the face and chest numerous times while she screamed for help. Luckily, there were people in the area who immediately notified the police, which caused Vitality to stop the assault. Per the victim's report though, she was left with a 2-inch laceration above her right eye that required stitches. She also notified the police that she had never even met the YouTube star before, nor did she even know who he was prior to the attack. Again, another prankster that just should be behind bars. Coming in number 3, Dirty Dom. For the most part, David Dobrik has put himself in the spotlight to explain the actions of his former friend and Vlog Squad member Dirty Dom. This comes after allegations of sexual assault were levied against him. We then had 2 separate apology videos as well that just came from David himself. The first had the comments turned off, and the second came after nearly every company he was associated with began to drop him. Following his March 16th apology, David released another 7-minute video responding further to the controversy surrounding him and the Vlog Squad. He directly condemns Dom's actions and remarks that his first apology wasn't enough. In the video, David says, "I fully believe the woman that came out against Dom and said she was sexually assaulted by him. I got consent to post the video, but even though I got consent, I should have never posted it. What I understand now is she sent that text because she felt like she had to, and that's f***ed up. It was cowardly of me to say in my last apology I missed the mark because it's f***ing gross and I'm sorry." What's gross is that Dom allegedly made everyone that he had ever had a relationship with sign an NDA, and as if it was legally binding in some way. Could someone please put this guy in prison already? Coming in number 2, Shane Dawson. Shane has had a weird obsession with younger people for a long time. He has repeatedly made jokes about very inappropriate things in regards to that for as long as he's been making YouTube videos. His comments even have been extended beyond those videos and made their way into his podcast. He looked up inappropriate photos of kids and even made a family member of his engage in some very disgusting behavior just for his vlogs. He even said to her that he has people watching that enjoy these jokes and needs to give them the content. Whether that was a joke or not isn't the question, it's the fact that he thought any of this was funny to begin with. I seriously don't know how he still has fans after everything that he's done, and I honestly have no idea how he's avoided jail time as well. Last but certainly least, at our number 1 spot, Onision. His real name is Gregory Jackson, and he started his YouTube page under the name Onision back in 2006. He was amongst the first wave of people uploading to the channel and building a loyal audience as a result. But by 2012, he was being banned by YouTube's VidCon for some terrible remarks he made about his ex-girlfriend online. His behavior and videos following became more and more disturbing, even filming a woman that was having a mental breakdown. You know, instead of helping like a normal person would. Onision also allegedly engaged in misconduct involving minors as well. Just so many shady things about this guy, and I'm actually quite stunned that he too hasn't spent any time in jail, despite Chris Hansen's best efforts. With that though, let's check out some of your comments from the video titled "James Charles is in trouble again. What's new?" Seth freaking Rollins says James Charles facing the cancel culture is part of his daily routine at this point. Yeah, I feel like he wakes up, checks messages, cool, I'm canceled again today. Caitlin Wright says, "I clicked so fast I think I broke my finger. Ooh, you should get that checked out." Luscious says, "Oh god, what's up with James getting exposed every year? Every year, it feels like every other day." Lipstick Jelly says, "Why is he not in prison? It's clearly a pattern, someone get Chris Hansen." Prison list, just mentioned Chris Hansen, and then here we go. It's like the universe provides. Me says, "Why flirt with any fans? These people go to a million super spreader parties but can't get a friend of a friend to introduce them to some people their own age." Thank you. Thank you, that's what I've been saying this whole time. He's James Charles. He doesn't need to be going through his fans that are obsessed with him to get a date. He's James Charles. He can date a number of different other celebrities just because he's James Charles. But he seems to like the younger ones. It's just what we've been seeing. But that's been today's video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I've been your host, Johnny Rogers, and until next time, stay classy, YouTube. Sorry, I'm gonna do that again. This span, and I bit my tongue as I went to start. So much shade, so much sass. I said that weird. Began dropping like flies? I'm adding too much. Let me just do that sentence again.